I would like to know why people hate on G1 fans so much. Why do people in the fandom hate on G1? Why do we have to sit back and be persecuted for only liking what we like? Okay? I mean, I thought you grew up and you were supposed to be able to say, I like that, I don't like that. I thought that's what we were taught. We have choices. Although that is a perceived notion, if you grow up and you understand life, you really find out you ain't got no choices because it's only one or two. Usually a choice starts with three. After that, if you ain't got but one and two, you just pick one or the other and just keep going. That's it. That's what our political system is. But we're not here to talk about that today. We're just here to basically talk about why are so many other collectors hating on G1. And I have to believe it's not because we're elitism. What elitism do we have? Except for the fact that we have knowledge of the fandom from way back in 84 versus maybe picking up on it in 97 or maybe picking it up in 2001 or 2002 or during the Bayverse movies in 2007 or maybe Transformers Prime in 2010 or maybe animated because I forgot animated, that's 08, or maybe come on, let me go down the line. RID in 2015, so forth and so on. All these shows that had these cartoons had toys, and most of the time cartoons are nothing but big toy commercials. However, as I recall, there was a line called Chug, Classics, Henkei, Universe, United, and of course, Generations. Now, within those four letters, and then the little extra two because of Henkei and the United because there's Japanese lines. I recall Classics had no cartoon. Classics had no fanfare, no commercial. There was nothing that said, oh man, we're getting new classic Transformers based on G1. And if they did, I never saw the commercial. But the one thing I do know is Chug toys sold out without any fanfare other than them being based on G1. And so that would mean that G1 has more pull and more power because it didn't need a movie franchise. G1 versions of toys did not need a cartoon anymore because we already had it. Well, back in 06, we were going close to what? Over 20 years then, right? So now here we are, 2024. And we've been through a lot of lines after Chug, post-Chug, Thrilling 30, which was a lot of G1 alike figures. Kind of in the IDW range because we got like IDW Springer and like Whirl and all those other ones, G1 version, like Chromia and all that. But after that, we got Combiner Wars. Now, a lot of people omit Combiner Wars and Titans Return because that entire 2-year space was all G1 figures. Because we're talking combiners. Those weren't movie combiners. Those weren't Energon combiners. No, they were based on the original G1 lore, down to even some of the vehicle modes and the robots modes as best as they could during Combiner Wars. Then, of course, we got the Titans Return. And what was Titans Return again? Headmasters. And in Japan, in the Legends line, they even gave you correct Target Masters. So everything was G1 for many years, even though we had movies still coming out. Let's go back to even third party. When they released the AOE Dinobots, what did third party do? They made a whole slew of G1 Dinobots. I remember Fans Project, G Creations, what's the company? I think Toy World. They became like Zeta or something like that. Everybody was at a race to release a G1 Dinobot. Why is that? Who was the elitism or the gatekeepers back then? It wasn't the fans. It was the companies that realized that the G1 toys actually sell better than anything else that they can make. And see, third party is a litmus test because third party knows, sometimes even better than Hasbro, if I make these G1-like figures and make them good, people are going to buy. Masterpiece. Yes, MPM is out there, but how many figures are there in MPM? And also, MPM doesn't really sell as well as regular MP. And MP, Masterpiece, not MPM, MP is the litmus test for Masterpiece. Debate me on it. I'll school you on it. And I don't even collect Masterpiece, but I have a friend that does. And he knows Masterpiece. And he gonna tell you, it ain't about MPM, it's about MP. Now MPG. You got it? You got it? Okay, now, moving on. We can go into the modern era, War for Cybertron. And in War for Cybertron, I'm going to say, we had John Warden in there because a lot of people, John Warden is a G1er. Oh, gosh. But anyway, now, during War for Cybertron, we got a lot of G1 toys, but Earthrise, we got a ton of G1, remember? And if you went into the store and you were buying Earthrise, you were buying G1. Now, yes, Studio Series started in 2018. It's still only about a little over 6 years old. But then in 2021, we got Studio Series 86. And what is 86? G1ers. Now we got all these G1 toys being released. Who's the elite here? Of course G1 is the elite because we are the ones that buy the toys. They're making the toys to look like the toys from back on the cartoon back in the days from 1984. This is Hasbro's doing. All companies do this. You see, this is the problem with a lot of you, just to say it, that don't have a lot of journalistic integrity. And because you haven't been on Earth long enough, you don't know the history of anything. Hot Wheels went through the same thing. You had the 68s, that's right. See, I'm a Hot Wheel collector too. So you had probably in the early 2000s, getting into the 2010s, if it wasn't a muscle car, that represented similar to what was released in 1968. Any other Hot Wheel would be a shelf warmer. Yes, of course, most of the time everybody's going for the treasure hunt. But when you can't get the treasure hunt, you're going to go for your favorite mold. And of course, if it's a muscle car or a JDM, it's gone. That's how it was. But the muscle cars were more or less inclined to entice those who bought the Hot Wheels when they first came out in 1968. And if you ever bought Hot Wheels and they put them on the shelf, even the dollar castings, if it's a certain color of that particular muscle car, like the Charger, the 67 Camaro, it's going to sell. And it sold. Basic cars sold because they were muscle cars. Man, you know how hard it was for me to find the actual, like the real world color, the all black color with the red stripe for the 86 Monte Carlo? Man, I finally found one in a Walmart. And the guy was getting ready to snatch it off the shelf. He saw it, I saw it, because it was the original black deco. So, of course, in Transformers, it's going to be the same thing. They're going to look around and say, wait a minute, who's buying the toys? I mean, yeah, we're releasing these movie toys, but they ain't selling like this, Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus, sans any Commander class. Armada Optimus Prime sold out because most G1 collectors were buying toys in the Unicron trilogy, because in the Unicron trilogy, especially Energon, sans Superlink, the packaging on Superlinks basically states this is 20th anniversary of Transformers. And a lot of Superlink toys, which were repaints, were mostly slight repaints of the Energon toys, were painted to be even more G1 in the Superlink line than they were in Energon. So it's always going to be about G1. The whole Masterpiece line is G1, with the exception of a few figures here and there. Even Raiden, he's G1. That's G1 Headmasters. So at the end of the day, you other collectors are just going to have to accept the fact that it's always going to be about G1 until we expire, until our generation dies out. And then when you get to that level that we are at, then they'll start making those toys to you. Now, as far as Hasbro, let's be for real, they're not doing good right now. So let's not talk about Hasbro's making toys, because Hasbro's actually going to be reducing the amount of toys they produce. They have been outsourcing a lot of their stuff. It's not looking like it's going to be some robust company like it was back in the early 2000s. That is long gone. Don't expect that to come back anymore. But the one thing that Hasbro knows, it knows what collectors want. And in the past, this year alone, how many G1 Optimus Primes have been released by Hasbro? I'll just wait. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that answers your question. G1 fans, stand up. The next time someone calls you an elitist, stand loud, stand proud, and say, you know what? I guess I am. It sucks for you, doesn't it? Be a G1 elite. That's what I am. Super Robot Ed, bringing more news reviews to them. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.